This story is about injustice, resilience, and the power of standing together. It's a tale that will make you angry, then cheer, and finally leave you feeling inspired. By the end, you'll be sharing it with everyone you know. Meet Sarah, a single mom from a small town in Ohio who had been working at an auto parts store for over 10 years. Sarah loved her job. The team was like family. They celebrated birthdays together, supported each other through tough times, and even pitched in for group gifts during the holidays. For Sarah, this job was a lifeline. Life hadn't been easy for her. When her son, Alex, was just a baby, her husband walked out, leaving her to raise their sick child alone. Alex had health issues early on, and Sarah relied on her parents to help care for him while she worked. The job at the auto parts store wasn't just a paycheck, it was her stability, her independence, and her pride. Over time, things started to look up. Alex got healthier, Sarah found her footing, and life felt like it was finally falling into place. But everything changed one afternoon. A woman named Karen stormed into the store, screaming at the top of her lungs. "You sold me a defective part," she shouted, pointing at Sarah. "I demand a refund and I want you fired." Sarah, always professional, stayed calm. "Ma'am, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Let's get this sorted out. I'll replace the part for you, no charge." But Karen wasn't having it. She refused to listen, wrote a scathing complaint, called the store's corporate hotline, and even contacted the district manager. What Sarah didn't know was that Karen was married to a high-ranking local official of fact that gave her a lot of clout. The next day, Sarah was called into the manager's office. "I'm so sorry, Sarah," her boss said, his face filled with regret. "Corporate is forcing my hand. I have to let you go." Sarah was devastated. This job wasn't just her income, it was her community, her stability, her everything. She left the store that day with tears streaming down her face, wondering how she'd provide for Alex. But Sarah's coworkers weren't about to let this slide. They were furious. Karen had not only cost their friend her job, but had also tarnished her reputation with lies. So they decided to take matters into their own hands. One of Sarah's coworkers had a friend who worked in marketing. Together they came up with a plan. They posted ads in local newspapers and online classifieds across multiple states. For sale, German Shepherd puppies, with Karen's phone number listed as the contact. Within hours, Karen's phone was blowing up. Hundreds of calls and texts flooded in from people asking about the puppies. She was furious but couldn't figure out how to stop it. The ads kept coming, and the calls didn't stop for weeks. Meanwhile, Sarah's coworkers didn't stop there. They pooled their resources to help her find a new job. One of them had a connection at a competing auto parts store, and within days, Sarah was hired with better pay and benefits. But the story doesn't end there. A few months into her new job, Sarah met Mark, a regular customer who always came in for parts for his vintage car. Mark was kind, funny, and instantly smitten with Sarah. They started dating, and within a year they were married. Mark adored Alex, and for the first time in years, Sarah felt like her life was complete. As for Karen, she eventually figured out who was behind the puppy ads. But there was nothing she could do. The ads stopped, but her reputation in the community took a hit. People remembered how she'd treated Sarah, and they weren't quick to forget. This story is a reminder that no matter how hard life gets, there's always hope. And sometimes, justice comes in the most unexpected ways. Sarah didn't just survive. She thrived, thanks to the love and support of her friends and the strength she found within herself. If this story moved you, leave a comment and share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness and resilience always win in the end. Because sometimes the best revenge is living your best life.